Hey, how we doing? Today I'd like to tell you about the Smart Troll system. I was late in the game, using 4 divers this year out in Lake Ontario. I know a lot of people have been successful with it, and I decided to give it a try. So what we found was out of 2 trips out there in the western end this summer and this spring, about 80% of our fish are coming off these 4 diver rods. And I'd like to tell you about how this is going to improve, running those 4 diver rods, knowing where they're running, and that's the Smart Troll system. This is a probe that we put on it, and this is a light bite slide diver. We use slide divers. I use both light bite and regular slide divers. But this thing's simple. You take an OR16 clip with a little tab in it, put out your 25, I put out 25 feet of line after the 6 to 8 foot leader, and simply just put this behind the tab so it's hanging down there. You want this end to point back towards the transducer, which will when it's trolling in that direction. And when you bring the fish in, you get down to that last 6 or 8 feet, you simply just remove it, just like that, at the rod tip. Very simple. Richard Ajecki from Yankee Troller gave me this tip. He also mentioned, and this got our attention, was that, because of the currents and knowing where those divers are running, it can significantly change the, where that thing is running, just turning the boat 180 degrees or 45 degrees with those currents out there. We see the same thing on Lake Champlain. If you're ever trolling around Split Rock or, up near the ferry in Grand Isle, there's some significant currents in those areas. And half the time, our lures are running not where we want them targeted. So this really got my attention. And Smart Troll system, you know where everything is in real time on those divers. Let's show you some of the other, where the transducer is and the receiving end of it, where it receives a signal. Well, I'll start with the transducer. So, it should be at least a foot or two away, a foot away. Here's my other transducers here. And over here is the Smart Troll transducer. And this is actually, it's got to be above the water line, so there's no turbulence. And, 45 degrees because it's looking back at, your probes in the water on the divers. So that's the transducer. Next, we'll look at the receiver. See, this is the back of the boat where I mounted the receiver. So here's the receiver. I've got it mounted in a corner here. Now I've got all metal in this boat, so you want to have that receiver mounted outside, not inside of a metal wall. This is an aluminum boat. It's a 19 Starcraft Fishmaster 196. And so you also want to rig it up with a switch, so you have the ability to turn it off and on when you're done using it. You don't want to leave this on, 24/7. So they recommend running an inline switch so you can shut it off when you're done. So basically that's the receiver, and the transducer comes in through the back and connects into it, and the power line as well. And this will actually submit Bluetooth signals to your Android phone or Android tablet.